I actually started in goal. I have never played another position besides goalkeeper. I had some kind of health setbacks when I was younger, and it was a very kind of low impact sport for me. I could kind of hang out back there, and you didn't see too much action back then. So for me, it was straight to goal. I still remember actually getting my first pair of Adidas gloves that my dad gave me after I had to get like an A on one of my tests, and I must have been in like first grade. I'm Logan Keys, redshirt senior goalkeeper for LIU Brooklyn men's soccer. At 6 years old, I was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Throughout chemo and everything, I took a little bit of a break at 6, so I had started kind of playing and found a little bit of a passion for it. Had a setback, going through the chemo and everything and the long hospital stays, and then came back and kind of tailored my treatment around sports, which was so huge for me. It was a tough time because we weren't really sure where things were going to go. We lost one of my friends while he was in treatment, Sean, and a girl by the name of Nicole who ended up getting a tumor. And you see all this sorrow around you and all these people that are going through that. And I just look back and I say I'm so blessed that my progression was relatively linear.
I didn't find out really the whole picture until last year when we had that good run, and folks were following us around, the media were following us around, and some of the stories that came out, and then one of them was a very comprehensive story about his past. I actually didn't know how challenging it was for him until about a year ago.
My dad and I have this inside joke where it's, he'll say, you're gonna have to go get it because nobody's ever gave you anything, right? So yeah, you look at from the early stuff, battling the cancer, nobody wants to do that, but you got to do it. And I remember every time from going from team to team, it would be that same idea where I was always kind of playing catch up, and you're gonna have to go get this opportunity if this is what you want, because nobody's handed you anything. And for me, that's kind of again been all these small microcosms of my college careers. Starts off, redshirt year, second year's decent, not enough breakthrough. The next year, it's getting there. The guys are competing. I think we get into the playoffs for the first time, in a while that year, which was huge. And then, last year obviously broke through a little bit more individually, as well as, the stuff that we did collectively, which I still look back at and say it was unbelievable, how we played. We went 7-0 in conference play, which gave us the right to host the tournament. So that was, I think St. Francis Brooklyn was one of my, beating them twice in the same week and doing it in PKs in the tournament was definitely one of probably my most fond memory thus far of my career. I've succeeded strangely really well in penalty kicks in the past. When we won a U19 national championship, we had gone 3 rounds of PKs there. I like that environment. So championship game ended up going into penalty kicks, and was fortunate enough to make the saves when needed, and the guys put the ball away, when they needed to, and we were able to win the championship. And for me, it was just like it was a really, really good moment to just kind of feel like I've made my mark a little bit in what what the whole goal was to do. And for me, from early on in battling cancer to starting to take soccer more seriously and say my ambitions were to be a Division I goalie, and then your next ambitions kind of be like, you want to be the starting guy, and then from there, you hopefully you want to do well, and then, you want to look into success, and and then hopefully there's that moment where you can shine, and to have it all kind of unravel the way it did was, you couldn't really ask for much more, and I was just so happy to be given the opportunity to be able to perform when needed, to be able to do that is it's pretty incredible.